Alright, I've learned a lot. I started multiple other channels throughout the last year. Some just as experiments. There was one that I did for a year, basically. I started last December, did over 3,100 videos, if I remember right, on there. Just started doing it about a month ago. But there's a lot I've learned about doing stuff on here. There's three things people are looking for: either information, entertainment, or connection. That's it. So they want information, easy enough. You already know what that means. Entertainment, you know what that means. Connection is just somebody that they feel that they can relate to, usually. And that's it. So it's one of those three things. There's also a lot of kids that are looking for, some kind of guidance and attention. I didn't realize that until I started doing lives. And my thing is, I don't do stuff for kids. Really. I do it for adults. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I talk about stuff that isn't child friendly and all that, and that's just the fact of the matter. That's how I'm wired, everything else, but kids still come across it and they want to connect with somebody. That's really it. I've noticed that because it started basically the first day I did a live on here. That young kids started jumping in, and that's not what I was aiming for. That's not what I'm wanting, and that's not what I'm encouraging. If they do it, they do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that that's something a lot of people don't realize. Something I definitely didn't realize. Okay. Also, I learned you can offer opportunities, but most people aren't going to jump on them. It very rarely happens. I offer. When I was doing the other channel, I was offering all kinds of different opportunities. Here, I'm definitely offering one for sure, and that is I'm starting a pulp magazine. So that means if you're a writer, if you want to be a writer or anything like that, the email will be in the description. But send me whatever. It's going to be a free magazine online where, as long as it's not some kind of racist story or some shit like that, it'll go in. And pulp doesn't need to be anything classy or anything else. You can look up what the term means and everything else. But I don't care if you've been writing for years or if you're a first time writer. It's just about getting people stuff out there, right? Anyone can do this shit. Anyone can talk in front of a camera. And that's all I'm doing right now. It's a phone, it's turned sideways. That way, it will go to the main one. If you're using a phone or a screen, it'll fill up the whole thing. If you turn the phone sideways or whatever, that's the reason I do it this way for these. But yeah, anyone can do it. It might be hard getting the idea going, but if you have a basic one, you can get something going. It's a lot easier than what people think because a lot of people tell you you need all this stuff. No, you don't. When I started, I didn't have a phone stand. Now I do. It was $5. When I started out, I didn't have a light, which is just a pan light. And the only reason I have a pan light is because it's kind of dark over here. If it wasn't dark over here, I wouldn't have a light. That's it. And that's all you need. You don't even need the pan light. You don't need the stand. Just the phone. There you go. You can make it happen. All right. Also, if you do things your own way, stuff might grow slow, but the people that like what you do or resonate with what you do are going to back you. And that's really all there is to it because there's a lot of people looking for something that's for them when a lot of stuff out there isn't for them. Right? It just is what it is. There's a lot of people out there that might even want to see things done a certain way but aren't doing them that way. Right? It just is what it is. So, like I said, it's just easier than what people think. And the slow growth to me makes the most sense because the people that I had at the old one were diehards, right? As weird as it sounds, good or bad, the ones that actually like what I do, get what I do, or whatever, they're diehards. Those ones that followed me over here. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. A lot of people might not get your approach. They don't need to, right? Not everyone needs to understand what you're doing, why you're doing, or anything like that. One thing that I've seen change is back in the day, We didn't know what, we didn't need to know why people did stuff. We didn't. Oh, they do that, it doesn't matter why, blah, 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 blah. But now, the fact that anyone can do this shit, that's going to change things a little bit. Because anyone can, people are looking into reasons, whether they're good reasons, bad reasons, whatever it is. But also, it's easier to find stuff that people disagree with because anyone can do this stuff. And some people are just looking for stuff to disagree with and are going to say whatever about you. And if they said something about you on here, remember this. And this is simple, but people lose track of it. If somebody leaves a comment on a video, it doesn't matter if it's a good comment or a bad comment. You know why? Because YouTube doesn't know the difference between good and bad comments. Period. So, interaction is interaction. Thumbs up or thumbs down, it doesn't matter. Period. It's going to drive more people to it because it's going to be pushed out to more people. So, I've had people say all kinds of things about me, and honestly, I haven't cared because every time it just pushes more. It's them defeating themselves. Sometimes it's better for people to keep their mouth shut and they don't realize it, but if I hate something, I'm not going to tell people about it. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's some kind of lesson that can go with it. But it doesn't matter who lets you approach and who doesn't, because what I've learned time and again is it's going to connect with somebody. It might not be who you think, but it's somebody. And it's really easy to stand out. All you have to do to stand out is do things your way. Because everyone else seems to be doing them, not everybody, but a lot of people, right? Do them in a way that copies other people. Right? I could have stuff up on the screen. I could go and edit this and put stuff in. With the old channel, people were saying, and there's a guy that I respect, but he's like, you should be putting these video parts in and this and that. And no, I'm not doing any of that shit. You know why? Because there's no reason for me to. The main thing for me is getting the message across. I don't need the visuals to do it, right? And, you know, a lot of the people that are telling me this are younger people. I'm 40 years old. I'm not going to do stuff geared towards somebody that's teens or early 20s because guess what? That's not the way I'm wired. That's not the kind of stuff I want to see. You know, we're just different people and there's nothing wrong with that. If I was 20, maybe I'd be doing stuff like that. But because I'm not going to be doing stuff like that because it just doesn't appeal to me. Now, I could spend hours and hours and hours on every video, but I've lived life and learned these lessons that way, so I've already spent hours learning the stuff that I'm telling you. I'm not going to spend hours editing it and everything else. Even when I make a movie, a short movie or whatever, it's not necessarily hours spent editing. It doesn't need to be. Right? I just get what works and keep it rolling, and that's it. Am I going to like this video when it's done? Maybe, maybe not. But it's not one I'm going to dwell on. Am I going to remember I did it? Hopefully. If not, I can look it back up. You know what I'm saying? So, it might sound like I'm a broken record on here a lot, and I'm sure that for the most part I am, but that's because the message hasn't changed. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, and one more thing. People view their opinions as fact and they defend it like it's a religion. They do that all the time. And I try not to fall into that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure everyone does from time to time. But it is something you'll come across because they'll think, okay, what he's saying or she's saying or this or that can't be true because all these other people are saying it's this, or I've done it this way and this is what's worked for me, so this is what works for everybody. No. Sorry, that's not the way it works. We're all wired different, and with artistic stuff, there's more than one approach. And what your view of success is not going to be the same as them. I don't care about a million viewers. I never have, I never will. I don't care about, you know, getting ad deals on here because I'm not going to take them. If you ever see, any kind of advertised on here, it's going to be because I personally talked to the owner and know the owner of the business. Period. And that's going to be me and them talking, getting something ironed out. And it's not going to be an ongoing thing. You aren't going to see Magic Spoon or any of that other bullshit on here ever. And you aren't going to see any commercials unless they put them on without my permission. That just is what it is, right? So I'm not going for any of those things, and you don't have to go for any of those things. I know a lot of people chase that down. There's plenty of ways if you want to make money off this. If you want to try to make a living off this, there's ways to do that too. But I'd rather give somebody something if they're going to pay. You know what I'm saying? If I'm making money, it's going to be more than this information that they could get from me just if they happen to run into me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd give this away to anybody. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are selling information and everything else. I'm not selling information. If I put in a book and sell it, that's just to cover the cost of the book. Right? That's it. But, like I said, as far as people having opinions and defending them, we all get that way. We all have stuff that we want to believe is true and might not be true. It might be partially true, meaning, yeah, it is effective, this and all, and the other thing, but it's not the only way.